Shall we work out? I know, I'm gonna work out. All right, so we're gonna start with 2 minutes of cardio movements. And you are almost 100% right. We are gonna start with faux jump ropes. I will keep track of our time as long as they keep that running, so you don't have to worry about anything else. Here we go. We're gonna do faux jump ropes in 3, 2, 1. So we're jumping with both feet. They're about hip distance apart, and every time we jump, we're gonna flick our wrists as if we're turning a jump rope. So single unders are basically what we are pretending to do right now. 30 seconds here, and then we're gonna switch it up. Try to go light on your feet here. 3, 2, 1, right into jumping jacks. And if jumping for either the faux jump ropes or jumping jacks is not in your wheelhouse for today, that's fine. You can always step these. Make sure that you are moving through the range of motion that's right for you at this moment. Three, 2, 1. Now we're going to shuffle and jump. Shuffle and jump. Shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump, shuffle, jump. One more time out and back in. Now we're going to go jack, jack, chop jacks. These are jumping or stepping. It's completely about where you are with your body today. Really pull the elbow down to the knee to engage that core. Last 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now we're going to start with forward and reverse lunge with the left leg. So I'm going to stand about in the middle of my mat, and I'm going to go forward, and then I'm going to go back. Forward, and back. 3 more, and back. 2 more. And last one. Back. Back to center. Now the right leg. Forward and back. And forward and back. 3 more for a total of 5. Forward and back. 2 more. And back. Last one. And back. All right, right back into that cardio piece. So those faux ropes, here we go. Again, you can do these standing if you need to. It's always an option. Five more seconds here. And then we're going right into those jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1, jumping jacks. Getting that heart rate up.
Yes.
Excellent. 3, 2, 1, shuffle, shuffle, jump, shuffle, shuffle, jump, shuffle, shuffle, jump, shuffle, shuffle, jump. Back and forth. Five more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. Those chop jacks. So jump, step. Really incorporate this diagonal line of the body. It's a big pull, whether you're stepping or whether you're jumping it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now we're going to straddle onto our mat. We're going to go into side lunges. We'll stay into this straddle position. As we come down, we're going to shoot our booty back, our shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle all lined up, back through center, and down to the other side. 10 per side, alternating sides for 20 total. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and finish here, 20. Right back into that cardio, faux ropes, 30 seconds. Definitely building some heat now. Yeah. And find a level that is right for you today. 5, 4, 3, 2, jumping jacks right into it. Halfway through, 15 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're going to shuffle, shuffle, and jump. If those jumps are getting harder, then slow it down and jump in stasis. 3, 2, 1. Let's do those chop jacks. Chop that knee and that elbow. Equal amount of effort coming from your shoulders and from your hips. 3, 2, 1. We're going to walk out into a plank position. So I'm going to hinge at my hips, hands flat on the ground. I want to keep my knees as straight as possible for me. You might need to bend yours more, and that's fine. Walking it out, lock your plank, then walk it back in. Stand all the way up, and then back down. Doing 10 of these. 2, walk it back in, stand up, squeeze. Back down for 3. Squeeze, bring it back in. Squeeze. Number 4, squeeze. Squeeze. Back through for 5. Squeeze. Squeeze. 5 more. Squeeze. Last 4. Squeeze. Squeeze. Back down. Squeeze. Squeeze, you have 2 more. Squeeze. Bring it back up. Squeeze. All right, last one. Squeeze. Bring it back up. Squeeze. All right, our last round of cardio, right into those faux jumps. Woo. Yeah. Amazing how just going up and down can take your breath away. Ten more seconds, and we're going right into those jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1, jumping jacks. You ready for those shuffles? 3, 2, 1. Shuffle, shuffle, jump, shuffle, shuffle, jump, shuffle, shuffle, jump. Ten more seconds. Three, 2, 1. Cross jacks, chop jacks. This is posture. So make sure that you're not collapsing down here, but you're keeping your torso locked and loaded. You're bringing your knees towards your elbows. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, our last piece of warm up on our bellies. We're doing snow angel supermans. We're doing 10 of these, so they should look really good. So I'm down on my tummy, my arms reach out really far, my toes are pointed, and I'm going to bring my arms and my legs towards each other, leading with the heel on the pinky, and then bring it back in. That's 1. Bring it back out, and that's 2. Back out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 more, 8, 9, last 1, and 10. All right, we should be pretty warmed up by now, yeah? Yep. Perfect. Okay, so our workout today is going to consist of a round of exercises. You don't really need to know what they are before we're doing them. I'm going to talk about that when we're doing them. And we have a little bit of time between each exercise for instruction and for demo. So our first set of movements is we're going to do 1 set of time, 50 seconds. Again, you don't have to know this information, or you don't have to pay attention to that part. I'll pay attention for you. 50 seconds of single leg deadlift or single leg reach. So what that's going to look like is I'm going to stand on my left leg, I'm going to send my right leg back behind me, and I'm going to tilt down, and I'm going to stand back up. And I say tilt, not lean, because if I lean, I'm going to break here, and all of this is going to go into my lower back. What I want to think about doing is become a letter T. So my right leg, my lifted leg goes back behind me, and my chest goes forward, not down. And I only go down as far as I know I can go while still being able to balance and still being able to come back up. So that's my weak side. That's where I would like, everyone's gonna start on their left side because that's my weak side. It's easier for me to remember it that way.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna do this for 50 seconds, okay? I will keep track of the time. Get ready, 3, 2, 1, here we go. 50 seconds. This doesn't mean as many as you can do in 50 seconds. This means as many as you can do well in 50 seconds. I want you to think about keeping your hips both pointed towards the floor, as if you had 2 laser beams coming out from your pelvic bones, and they were shooting down to the floor. I want you to think about keeping your chest lifted the whole entire time. You have 20 more seconds. This is a very controlled movement. This is not about speed. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch legs. Now onto the right side. So get yourself set. We have 3 more seconds. We're going to go into 50 seconds on this side as well. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You'll probably notice right away that you have one side with which this is easier to do than the other. Welcome to being a human being on planet Earth. Hands at your hips is one option. Hands at your sides is another option. Hands out to the side, or up overhead, or behind the head. These are all ways that you can adjust to make this more manageable or more challenging. 20 more seconds. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. We're going to come down into a side plank. I'm going to be on my left forearm. I'm going to either have my feet 2, 1, here we go. And again, you'll probably discover that one side is a lot more manageable than the other. Something to be really mindful of here is where your shoulder is in relation to your elbow. You want to make sure your shoulder is forward of your elbow, not behind. If you're having a hard time doing that in the position where you've selected, then change the position, drop a knee down, take pressure off of that shoulder so that you can engage the muscles that we're trying to engage here. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. We're going right into push-ups. You don't need much instruction here other than 50 seconds is a long time to do push-ups. I'm going to do them from my knees. I'm going to go into a plank position for my knees, touch my chest to the floor, bring it back up. This is all about what you want from your push-ups. If you want more from your chest, bring your hands wider. If you want more from your triceps, bring your hands narrower. If you want something in the middle, bring them somewhere in the middle. All dependent on what you want out of your push-ups. My recommendation is to do the kind that's the most challenging for you. 3, 2, 1. All right. We're going to stand up. Feet about shoulder distance apart. Fingertips behind the ears. Knees a little bit bent. Shoulders back, belly in. We're going to shove our booty back, back, back. And we're going to stand and squeeze our glutes. Send our booty back, back, back. Stand up, squeeze our glutes. These are good mornings. They're all about getting into those glutes and hamstrings. Make sure that as you come down, your back stays flat. So we're not allowing the lumbar spine to let go here. We're keeping that chest lifted. This is the equivalent of a deadlift. We're just not using any weight here. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Down onto the ground. We're going to do crunches. Fingertips behind the ears, chin towards the ceiling, and lifted. And I want you to think about closing the space between your sternum and your pubic bone. So I want your lower back to touch the floor the entire time. The chin doesn't go forward, the chin goes towards the ceiling, always. Trying to make sure that we're making this an abdominal movement and not just a bunch of neck movements. 20 more seconds. There's a hold at the top here. Hold. Make sure those elbows are back. I call them lazy elbows. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. We're going to go into curtsy lunges. So make sure that there's space on either side for you to take your legs back behind you. You're going to step one leg back and to the side doing the curtsy, and then you're going to switch sides. I want you to think about your torso going straight down, straight up with each repetition. The hand position here can be anything from hands on the hips, to behind the ears, to up overhead, to out to the side. 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna come onto our backs. Elbows into the floor, fingertips towards the ceiling, palms towards your feet. You're gonna center the weight in your left leg. You're gonna reach your right leg either up to the ceiling or straight along the ground. And you're gonna push with your left heel and your elbows into the floor. And we're gonna hold this for 50 seconds. This is the equivalent of a reverse plank position. You're really pushing. If holding this for 50 seconds is not in your wheelhouse, then you can pulse down and back up. But make sure you're pushing with your heel, you're pushing with your elbows the whole time. These are muscles that we don't use very often. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. 10 seconds to recover. Now it's going to be the right heel, but the same thing. Your elbows are pressing into the floor. We're trying to use those lats. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Push through with the glutes. Push through with the triceps, the lats, the upper back muscles. Shouldn't be feeling this in your back at all. Make sure you're breathing. Can be the hard part. Again, if holding it for the entire 50 seconds is not in your wheelhouse, then drop down and push back up. 20 more seconds to go. Last. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. That'll clear your hamstrings if nothing else does. All right, back up. We're going to start all of that over again, but we have 1 minute to recover, to grab some water, to wipe the sweat, kind of think your way through. So we have a lot of movements today that are working the back side of your body. It's one of the more challenging pieces to use without equipment. It's hard to do pull-ups. It's hard to do deadlifts if we don't have equipment. So it's about putting the body in a position where the body weight gives you enough resistance to create the stimulus that you need to do the movements well or to make them effective. So we have about 15 seconds before we get started again. We get started with single leg deadlifts on the left leg, and then we'll go to the right, and then we have the thread the needle left and right. We've got push-ups, we've got good mornings, we've got crunches, we got those curtsy lunges, and then we have those tripod extensions. All right, guys, here we go. Left leg, single leg deadlift, 3, 2, 1, go. You may find that the second set is a little more familiar to your body. That's awesome. It's because it is. And if not, that's okay. Just hasn't been enough time yet. You will get there. This knee forward thing is completely optional. If you want and you need to, you can stand a foot down between each rep. It's completely optional. Make sure as you're coming down into this position, your shoulders stay back and your belly stays in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get ready to switch sides, shake it out a little bit. 3, 2, 1, left leg on the ground. Sorry, right leg on the ground, left leg goes back. Find that range of motion that creates enough of a challenge for you. If hands on your hips doesn't give you enough of challenge, bring your hands behind your head. That takes your weight further forward and puts more pressure on your hamstring. And if that doesn't give you enough, then bring your arms up overhead. Again, that takes the lever arm and it makes it longer so that there's more pressure on the musculature. Again, the knee up is an option. You do not have to do that. You can step that foot down between each rep. And if you're wobbling around here, that is awesome. That means you're challenging your balance and your body is learning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, down on your side for our thread the needle. Remember your options here. And remember your point of performance, shoulder over the elbow. Arm up overhead, and then it reaches down and through. Up, down and through. And when I'm reaching down, I'm not just reaching down with my arm, I'm reaching up with my hips as well. $20 more seconds. No, 10 more seconds. Sorry, now it's 5. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. That's what happens when you look at a timer and you're doing a movement. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. See how this other side feels now. Maybe it was the stronger one last round, and it's even stronger this time. Or maybe it was the weaker one last time, and it's still weak, or any other combination of ways that your body can be interpreting this stimulus. And they're all correct. All of those responses is what your body is telling you, and it's all correct. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. All right. Get into those push-ups. And you know your level, toes, knees, or even in an all fours position. It's all about the range of motion of the elbows and the torso. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Maybe change it up this time. Maybe you did wide push-ups last time. You want to try narrow push-ups this time. That's a great idea. I love that. You want to keep variety in your workout so you don't get bored. Luckily, there are just so many options. It's hard to actually be bored. When my clients tell me they're bored, I respond to them the same way my mother responded to me when I used to say I was bored when I was little, and I give them more work. More work, but it's more work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going into those curtsy lunges, side to side. It's just like if you're like, I'm hungry and someone says, how about this? And they're like, here we go. They're like, I'm not hungry for that. That means that you're not actually hungry then. Because when you're really hungry, you'll eat anything. True story.
Yeah.
As someone with lifelong food addiction, no joke. I know that when I'm like, that doesn't sound good, that doesn't mean, that means I'm not actually hungry. $15 more seconds here. Last 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, down on your backs. For those crunches, we missed 2 movements. That's okay, we'll get there. Here we go with crunches. 3, 2, 1, go. What happens when I start talking about food? Remember those points of performance. You're bringing your sternum to your pubic bone each and every time. Your hands are behind the ears and the elbows are soft and behind the hands. The chin goes towards the ceiling. It does not go forward. This is how we engage the abdominals instead of the hip flexors and instead of the neck. 3, 2, 1. Up we go for good mornings.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the head, feet about shoulder distance apart. We're going to soften the knees, keep the chest lifted, shoulders back, booty back. Really reach, and then stand up and squeeze that booty really, really hard. And again, it's not about how far down your shoulders go. It's more about how far back your hips go. And in order for your hips to go back, your shoulders actually have to go forward, not down. So it's a reach. It's a really long, extended back instead of a tipping down. That's not a good morning. That's just a stretch of the low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, back down. This is for our tripod hip extension. Our elbows are on the floor, starting with our left leg. The heel is on the floor, the toes are lifted. The other leg is extended or lifted. And here we go, pressing through the heel and through the elbows. 50 seconds. And again, if holding this the entire 50 seconds is not working for you, then take a little break and pulse it back up. Take breaks as needed, but try to hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop that down. Reset. Get the right heel on the floor, toes lifted, other leg extended either along the floor or in line with the other leg. 3, 2, 1. Press up. Hold it. Should be squeezing the glute. You should be engaging the triceps, your lats, your middle back. Your lower back should be resting right now, honestly. All of the other muscles are doing the work. Your lower back is not doing the work here. 20 more seconds. Hold it strong if you can. And if you need to take a break, take a break. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. One more break. Grab your water. Shake it out. I will go by the list of items this time. Emilie, you say, did that ruin the effectiveness of the last series that we didn't do it in the same way? No, it doesn't matter at all. You can do these in any order you want to. This way, the way I did write it gives you breaks in certain areas, but this is all low impact enough that you should be able to do all of these in any order. So if you do get bored, say, you could just switch it up. Do all left leg of things first and then all right leg. So many different ways of doing this. All right, guys. I'm gonna go into that third round, starting with the single leg deadlift. 50 seconds of it. Set your intention. Find that level that's right for you. 3, 2, 1, here we go. About halfway through the time for this leg. Ten more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, switch sides. Shake that left leg out. I'm sure it's burning by now. Mine is. 3, 2, 1, right side. Lunges, deadlifts, squats are gonna make sure to keep your body nice and healthy. A nice strong back. Keep that booty popping, even though a lot of us are sitting a lot in our lives. When in doubt, do more lunges. When in doubt, do more deadlifts. When in doubt, do more squats. And some push-ups in there too. Push-ups require glutes for sure. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, down into these side planks. For thread the needle, man, I am feeling these today, you guys. These are a challenge for me. Here we go. Come up into that plank, reach down and through, and back up. Really lift those hips as you're coming through with that upper hand. Twenty more seconds. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Man, I can really feel every little crack in my hardwood floor under this mat. I think I need a better mat. All right, other side. Up we go. Reach down and through, and then up. Fifteen more seconds here. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, right into those push-ups. level that you wanted to challenge with here. I'm gonna go wide for this last set. 50 seconds. Regardless of where your hands are width-wise, want to make sure that everyone is always engaged with external rotation with their hands. So if anything, your pinkies and thumbs are turned out, never in. Halfway through. Fifteen more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Up for those good mornings. Feet about shoulder width apart. Fingertips behind the ears. Knees bent a little bit. For extra little punch, squeeze your legs together. Come down and back up. It's 1. 50 seconds. Feel how squeezing your legs together changes this a little bit. Fifteen more seconds. 1, 5. 3, 2, 1. Down for those crunches. Pull everything in tight. Right here, press your lower back into the floor. Now keep it pressed into the floor. Fingertips behind the ears. 3, 2, 1. Chin towards the ceiling. Keep the lower back on the floor the whole time. Your sternum is coming towards your pubic bone, which means that your rib cage is coming off the floor, which means that your head, which is attached to your rib cage, is also coming off the floor. But it doesn't start with your head. It starts with your abdominals first. That's the chain of command. So keep that chin away from the chest, lifted towards the ceiling, and isolate the crunch in your abdominals. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get up for those curtsy lunges. We're almost there, you guys. Only 3 more minutes of work. Woohoo! 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hands either on the hips or behind the head or overhead. It's your choice. We want that torso to go straight down, straight up. Halfway through. Fifteen more seconds. Last 10. 3, 2, 1. On the floor for the tripod hip extensions. Oof. All right, left heel on the floor. Elbows to the floor. Right leg extended either along the floor or lifted up. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Press up. If you want to add a little juice to your last set here, you're going to lower that right heel down, tap it, and then bring it up and push through the left heel. Lower the right heel, tap it, lift it up, push through the left heel. This is optional. By no means required. I just feel like doing it right now. So I'm getting less and less inclined to do it as this 50 seconds goes past. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down. Get the right leg set. Extend that left leg, elbows into the floor. 3, 2, 1, push it up. And again, if you want to make this a little spicy, lower that left heel, tap it, bring it up and push through the right heel. Lower the left heel, tap it, bring it up, push through the right heel. All the while pressing through with those elbows. Those are not just innocent bystanders. They are driving the getaway car. 20 seconds left. 20 seconds of work. And you are done, except for a little stretch. 10 more seconds. Last. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Stay on your back. Bring your knees to your chest or your shoulders, whatever feels good to you. Just kind of give that whole lower back area a little massage. Hopefully we weren't using the lower back there, but sometimes it'll pipe up just for fun. And then bring yourself into an all fours position. Knees wide, feet narrow. Bring your arms forward. Drop your hips towards your heels. Reach your arms overhead. And then let your head rest on the floor. And then come up to all fours again. And bring your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Lift your chin away from your chest. Take your left shoulder and left hip towards each other. And then come back to center, chin towards your chest. And then your right hips and your right shoulder towards each other. And then back up into that arched back position. And then right hip, right shoulder. Back through center, tuck your chin. Then left hip, left shoulder. And then back through center. Go ahead and bring that right leg forward into a runner's lunge position. And that back leg should be as extended as possible. Ideally, the top of the left foot is rested on the floor. And we're just opening up the hip flexor on that left side. And then we're going to scoot ourselves back. We're going to lift the toes of the right leg, our hands on either side of that leg. We're going to send that right hip back. Try to keep our back nice and flat or flat-ish. I'm going to stretch that hamstring on that right side. And then come back, switch sides. Left leg comes forward. Drop into that runner's lunge. Get into that stretch in that hip flexor on that right side. Making sure that the top of that right leg is flat on the floor, really opening up through that hip. And then send yourself back, lift the left toes off the floor, pull that left hip back, give that left hamstring a little stretch. And back to center, sit back on your heels. We did some good push-up work here and some good plank work. So we're gonna take our hands behind our back, clasp our hands together, interlace the fingers, and then try to straighten your elbows. And if it feels like this is no big deal and you want more, you can always lift your arms up, but it's only if it feels like you need more of a stretch. And then take your hands together and bring them apart, and together and apart, and a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. Give yourselves a hand for a job well done. Thank you guys so much. I've been Emily. You've been great.